people had the idea to make a movie about Bob Dylan, we needed to know who our Bob Dylan was going to be, and we thought of Timmy. And this was back in 2018. He had just done Call Me By Your Name, and we were just both so taken with that movie. We called Timmy's agent at the time, Brian Swartram, now manager, brilliant guy. And Timmy didn't know really who Bob Dylan was, but he understood his importance in our culture. And Brian certainly knew who Bob Dylan was. And Timmy agreed to meet with us. We had a 4-hour meeting with Timmy, and he quickly became as excited about doing this as we were. He said, "I'm in, guys, let's go on this journey together." We then went to Jeff Rosen. We were ready. We had a vision to tell the story from 1961 to 65. And coincidentally, Jeff Rosen had also been developing his own movie about Bob in that same time period, from a script by Jay Cox called Going Electric, which was based on a book called Going Electric. And we kind of married the projects together with Timmy and us, and we brought it to Searchlight, who has been so supportive this entire process, many years. And we were off and running, but we didn't have our key element, which was, of course, Jim Mangold. And very quickly, David Greenmount and Matthew Greenfield from Searchlight, they were on a plane with Jim Mangold going from Telluride to Toronto, the two film festivals, and they pitched this project to Jim, and he immediately said, "I'm in, I'm doing this." And on the plane, he read the script, and he started rewriting the script that day. And from then on, it was like a rocket ship. And then that weekend, Jim was in Toronto showing Ford vs. Ferrari. He met with Timmy and really cemented his commitment, and Jim already had this amazing vision to tell the story, not just about Bob, but about Joan and about Pete and about Woody and about this world. And then we had COVID and strikes and many, many headwinds in between, but it felt good for a minute.
That's amazing. And so, okay, so it took forever to get the movie made, and then you wrapped the movie in June, but the movie came out at Christmas. So how the hell did you do that?
We're impatient. It took almost 7 years to get made, and we had many false starts. We had many day ones that we got close to, and then we didn't. So 2020 we were supposed to shoot. COVID hit, they went to do Dune and Indiana Jones, and then we were on the ground in New Jersey with our entire team in 2023. Tech scouting, I mean, people are dressed like the music is ready. We're so, you leave your life, and suddenly the actors strike, and we pack our bags and we're heading home, and at that point, it's existential. You're probably not coming back. And it's a testament to Jim and to Bob's story and to the actors holding through those headwinds that we did show up 8 months later. But by the time we started, I love the way you guys introduced this evening of looking at the big picture, because often on a set, the producers and the filmmaker are the only ones who are on that set who are going to be there through the very end. And so everyone else is beholden to a schedule and a budget and hair and makeup concerns or wardrobe concerns or just the organization of the ecosystem. But we're always anticipating and looking ahead, and one of the most important jobs of a producer, and also one of the toughest, is to look at when the inertia is smooth, look at the big picture and say, we might have to disrupt this for the benefit of the movie, because we're all really serving the movie first. And so when we finally started actually rolling film on our pre-shoot days, we allowed ourselves to look at the post-schedule and realized we were going to be delivering the movie in January or February. And we're like, fuck, we've been doing this for 7 years. And then we're going to finish it in January and either have to wait with a finished movie till the fall, or, as we know, in a vacuum, something fills it, which is usually notes and more work and more time. And so we built a plan, and luckily, Jim is a machine. This only works with James Mangold, who is insatiable and can basically take any amount of work and digest it and return it to all the people around him quickly and with direction. And so we built a plan that had to be just as cost effective to compress the schedule to deliver in November. That meant adding an editor right then and bolstering our post team and making sure that we had the opportunity, not a guarantee that we were going to release this year, but that we had put ourselves in position. So if we had decided in June, hey, let's try to rush, it would have been too late. So we had 2 editors working 7 days a week practically with a bolstered post team, and Jim, after every long day of shooting, would go home and work with both editors and would give them enough notes to occupy them. We'd see cut scenes. Jim is also, it's another good lesson for directors, Jim is not precious. He is so open poker, he loves sharing stuff, he doesn't care if it's rough, he's so confident in his own abilities that he loves feedback early. So we saw cut scenes while we were on set that were unbelievable. And we were, at the same time, starting to cut marketing materials, because the only way to pull this off is also to be cutting trailers while we're still shooting. We got home in June, exhausted, and we showed the studio a week and a half after we got back. TGA director's cut is 10 weeks, and people are protective of that. And Jim cut an hour out of the movie in a week, basically, and was really not precious. We brought many more departments of Searchlight than would normally see a first cut, especially at that stage. And we all held hands, and we knew there was more work to do, but we felt the potential was there. And Deadpool Wolverine was about 2 weeks away, which was a good window for our teaser to drop. And we said, let's do it. We dropped the teaser, and then there was no turning back. You know, it said this Christmas. And so we had to make the date, which was the insane kind of pressure that we thrive under. And again, this only works with Jim, who is just like, he doesn't vacation well. He loves the work, and he can push everyone to their best and to their limits. And I'm sure you guys, we always have a little bit of cushion, you know, the delivery date's never really the delivery date. And all of a sudden, you know, our VFX house is in Australia, we're on the phone with them every night, all weekend, because there was a point where they're like, if you give us a new shot, it won't make it into the final film. And we're like, we basically locked picture, finished the mix, finished the final VFX on the final day, exported to DCP, and then screened it the next day and hoped that people would like it because we didn't have time to.
And we had our first screening November 20th for Academy members, and you know the movie was mixed. We finished the mix
3 days earlier.
Yeah, 3 days earlier. We're still making some tweaks. So, and as Searchlight said the other night, I mean, they did 9 months of awards and marketing in 3 months, really. So they haven't slept.
It's the beauty of having Searchlight on from the ground floor because they're so good at what they do as well, and so.
Yeah. Well, they're amazing, and they constantly made the movie better. They're creative partners, not just financial partners, and they were producers with us really in the trenches of making this movie at every step, even we're all fine-tuning the end cards all together. It forced quick decisions. It was amazing. There was in a vacuum, you can toil over these things and debate, and the nice thing is at a certain point was like, there was no cost to approve, like just put it through, get it through, you know, so it was a free-for-all, but it was great, and we all sort of took that leap together, and thank God we're not still in post. And I think that, you know, we're only here today because of those decisions that were taken really early. And I think for any aspiring producers in the room, sometimes it's hard to raise your hand and throw off the momentum, but it can have really big ramifications. So we're really proud that we did it.
What an amazing end to a crazy journey. Congratulations to
Thanks so
both
much.
of you.
Thank you.